Growing up in London was awesome. Gave me the opportunity to have far more access to various different cultures than I would have had in many other places. London was a huge mixing pot and still is. I grew up with many different kids from many different places from around the world. One of my very favorite friends was Indian. I loved to go to his house to eat. It was awesome. His mom made the most amazing food. And one of my favorites that she used to cook was keema mata. And that's ground beef in a curry sauce with green peas. And I never got the chance to actually watch her make it, but I do remember enjoying it. And she used to make the most amazing chapatis. It was absolutely delicious. So today on the Jamaica Kitchen, I'm going to show you how I make my version of that beef curry with my Jamaican spices. And for our ingredients today, we have 2 pounds of coarse ground beef, and this is the 80/20, and it's the same one that I used in the shepherd's pie. I do like that meatiness. And then in addition we have 4 tablespoons of curry powder, and this is my own particular mix. 2 tablespoons of hot yellow Jamaican curry, and then 2 tablespoons of madras. And then in addition we have 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then half a teaspoon of cardamom, and half a teaspoon of ground pimento or allspice. And we also have 1 small Scotch bonnet chopped, and it's totally optional. You can use any other pepper that you like or not have any peppers at all. I just like the rosy flavor addition to the curry. And then we have 5 garlic cloves minced finely, 1 very large onion chopped, and then we also have 2 medium potatoes diced, and then 1.5 cups of frozen sweet peas. Alright, so that's our ingredients for today. So in our pan today we have a couple of tablespoons of bacon grease, and I like to keep a little bacon grease in the fridge most of the time. And there's a couple of reasons why I use it, especially when I cook beef. The bacon fat has really nice smoky flavor to it, which you can't obtain basically from anything else that you're going to add to this dish. And it's just another layer that we can incorporate into the curry using this fat. So that's one of the reasons why I like to use it. So in goes our ground beef. So we're going to go ahead and just brown this off for the next couple of minutes, and then we're going to start adding our dry ingredients. But a great thing about this dish is it's really flexible. You could do this with ground pork, ground turkey. I've done it with ground turkey many times, and I've also done it with vegan substitute meat that actually it turned out really well, because the flavors in the curry are quite potent and they really help mask any residual flavors that some of these vegan meats can have. So it is a really flexible dish and you can do it in many different ways. I generally just do it with the ground beef, and on occasion I do it with ground turkey. If I had excess ground turkey in the freezer or something, I might use some ground turkey. But typically I do it with the beef. Our beef is nicely browned and ready to accept its seasonings. So we're going to go ahead and add our 4 tablespoons of curry powder. And we're going to do a quick mix in and get the pan pretty hot. I like to cook my curry for a few minutes in the oil, a pretty high temperature first. You know, they say you should always burn your curry. I'm not going to burn it, but we're definitely going to get the oil going through the curry pretty well before we add our other seasonings. Now we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our dry seasonings. This is our ground pimento or allspice, a beautiful fragrant cardamom, our garlic powder, and our Italian seasoning. And of course, like any other recipe I have, you can adjust it all to taste. You want garlic powder, you want to remove the garlic powder, you want to add this, you want to add that, but I do suggest, because we're using curry powder, that you don't try to salt until you're towards the end of the cooking process, because curry powder can be quite salty, and depending on the brand that you're using. And to make sure you don't over salt it, it's better just to wait. Then you can add salt and pepper to taste. Alright, there goes all our dry seasoning. Now we're going to go ahead our water. See, we're starting to brown on the bottom there. Okay, time to add our water. This is boiling water, so we're not cooling down the pot. That was about 1.5 cups of boiling water. And we're going to remove all of that caramelization from the bottom of the pan. Now we're going to go ahead and add our potatoes. And I like potatoes in this particular recipe. One, it helps thicken the curry, and two, it's a nice added texture to it as well. Alright. In addition to our potatoes, we are going to add our garlic, our Scotch bonnet pepper, and our onions. Quick stir. Now we're going to go ahead and let this cook down for about 25-30 minutes. I'm going to check for tenderness of the meat. And the closer we get to the finish line, then we'll add our green peas. So we are at the 25-minute mark, and I am adding about a teaspoon or so of black pepper and about a half a teaspoon of seasoned salt. Need it just a little bit. Oh, looking awesome already. But the meat does need a little bit longer. Another 15 minutes or so of the meat. And then we can think about adding our green peas. Alright. Okay guys, we are on our home stretch. See how lovely and thick that has become. And that's all from the potato breaking down. I know in the beginning it may have looked like too much potato, but it really wasn't. Now we're going to go ahead and add our green peas. And these add such a beautiful color. And then that sweet pop with a pungent, spicy curry. It's quite beautiful. Quite beautiful indeed. Alright. We're going to go ahead and let those peas cook for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to plate. And here's our beautiful curry today. It's ground beef curry with potatoes and green peas. It is absolutely delicious. I promise you. You should try this. So today it's served over a plate of basmati rice. And I'm going to show you sometime later on during the week how wonderful it is with a nice flaky roti. Ooh, one of my favorites. Oh. Hot. That is so delicious. Mmm. Just the right amount of curry. You never want your curry to be overpowering, because you still want to taste everything else that's on the plate. And it's absolutely delicious. And later on this week, I'm going to show you how to enjoy this with a beautiful flaky roti. Oh, that's one of my favorite ways to eat it. Mm. Hot, 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 hot. Delicious. Oh. As usual, thank you so much to the bottom of my heart for joining me today. I really appreciate all the thumbs up and the nice comments. I really appreciate it, and thank you for subscribing. Join me again later on this week. I'll show you how to make that roti. We enjoy this curry again. You guys have a blessed day. That's a man for feed man belly.